We are well aware that students are very ignorant. This is the voice of Kenite Publishers Educational Research Institute, an educational research institute dedicated to giving information on academics, We thank those who have always been staying put with us. We thank school administrators across the length and breadth of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We believe that education remains a formidable tool and a vibrant ladder for national development. If we want a very better Nigeria, we need to work more on the educational system. We thank those that are on the program with us. Mrs. Monishola Fashugbe, thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Nigeria must be greater than it is at the moment. We are contributing our quota in a very small way to national development. It's an academic counseling firm. Yes, we can see a very better Nigeria line ahead. And if we can assure that, we can be talking about helping the young generation to be greater than they are in their academics and in their intellect. So our activities is to consolidate what teachers are doing within the four walls of the classroom setting, hence making it more meaningful. Yes, our own educational gospel is not an educational gospel to condemn. It is our doing that we always thank God who has given us the vision and the opportunity. Olúwa ń bẹ lórí omi púpọ̀ o. Ọlọ́run ọ̀run sán bí àrá. The voice of the pedagogue is the voice of the one crying in the wilderness, saying, prepare a way for the educational system and make it better. Is there no balm in Gilead? Is there no physician there? àwọn tí ara wọn yá kò yẹ fún oníṣègùn bí kò ṣe àwọn tí ara wọn kò dá o. He came to his own, and even his own rejected him, but as many that believe in him were given the power to become the children of God. This is an educational gospel of peace. The Pedagog's gospel is an educational gospel of peace and hope for our educational system in Nigeria. Ìfẹ́ inú rere sí ètò ẹ̀kọ́ náà ló gbé wa débi tá a wà yìí o. Àwa ń fẹ́ kí iná ètò ẹ̀kọ́ kó máa jó fòfò kó má dẹ̀ ṣe jó sẹ́yìn láéláé. Olúwa Olúwa wa orúkọ rẹ̀ mà níyìn tó ní gbogbo ayé o. Ìbá máa ṣe pé Olúwa máa wà ní ìhà tiwa kí ni kí àwa kí ó máa wí nísinsìnyí. The steadfast love of our Lord never ceases, and his mercies never come to an end. They are new every morning. O Lord our God, how excellent is your name in all the earth, how excellent is your name. Thank you very much. We not really want to waste much of our time today, and we are using this medium to thank our viewers from home. This is the voice of Kehinde Ogunshiji, the anchor of Pedagogues Educational Research Institute and learning facilitating firm, a learning facilitating firm dedicated to illuminating Africa with apt educational philosophies and doctrine. And of course, we are not doing something new. We are only doing what we are doing to consolidate what teachers are doing within the four walls of the classroom setting, and of course to encourage the educational disadvantaged children through our blended learning initiative, making sure that qualitative and superlative education reaches the doorstep of every child of school-going age that wishes to learn. And of course we are leveraging on the power of the social media, so that this good educational gospel can be at the reach of everybody, hence raising a number of vibrant and intellectually vast children of school-going age who will be philosopher kings in the nearest tomorrow. Without much ado about nothing, and to go straight to the nitty-gritty of today's program, we will be discussing how exactly children of school-going age should read, and I feel it is high time we did that, because examinations are fast approaching, and of course terminal examinations are at the very corner of the children at such a time as this. It is not a news today that the English language is the language of education in the schooling system, and of course the language of instruction, and it is this language that is being used to teach many other subjects apart from the indigenous tongue, be it Yoruba, Hausa or Igbo. So it is necessary that for children to have a better grasp of knowledge, it is important for them to have adequate knowledge of English language. When they have adequate knowledge of English language, they will be able to read and comprehend what teachers are doing, and this even starts from primary school. Àwọn ọmọ wa wọ́n ní láti ní ìṣẹ́gun lórí èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, torí pé kì í ṣe èdè bàbá àti ìyá wa, ó jẹ́ èdè àtọ̀húnrìnwá, ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ èdè tí a rí gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn tó kó wa lẹ́rú, àwọn British, kì í ṣe èdè wa. So tá bá máa ní ìṣẹ́gun lórí èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì, ó máa cost wa ní ipe ká gbarata lórí ẹ̀, ká dẹ̀ mọ àwọn nǹkan kan tó yẹ ká ṣe. Pàápàá jùlọ many parents, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ òbí ni ò kí ń ra ìwé fún ọmọ wọn nílé ìwé. For example, ìwé English, literature books and many other things like that will go a long way to help these children to have a better knowledge of English language. And when they have a very vast knowledge of English language, they will be able to transfer the knowledge of English language, the understanding they have on English language, to the understanding of every other subjects that is being used to teach them in the school. Because you use English language to teach civic, social studies, CRS, even mathematics. When the children don't have proper knowledge of English language, they will not be able to read and understand what the teacher, they will not be able to comprehend what the teacher is teaching them. Similarly, today, many parents believe that when they pay the school fees, it ends there. No. The assignment of parents, I want parents, mo fẹ́ kí àwọn òbí wa kàn mọ̀ wípé púpọ̀ àwọn ọmọ yìí tó wà nílé ìwé ni they are below 18. In other words, they are not yet mature. They are not adult learners. They are children, and many of them don't have sense of direction at the moment. So it is the parents that will help these children to have sense of direction. So because of this, it is very important for parents to ensure that children read at home, most especially before they go to bed in the evening, and even when they wake up early in the morning, maybe as early as 4 to 5 or 5 to 6, they read before they go to school. So ìgbà míì ó máa gba kí òbí gan kó máa jí ọmọ láàárọ̀ kán máa ka ìwé wọn. So it's very important. Ẹ má sọ pé torí pé okay o, ẹ ti wá sanwó ilé ìwé o, ẹ ti ṣe kinní kan o, pé bóyá ó ti wá end síbẹ̀ yẹn. No, Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ kẹ́ fowó jóná, because it's not easy for parents to get money to pay for the school fees of these children, most especially at such a time as this, when school fees are now very much on the increase. And it is very important for us to note that when the children of school going age are not very sound academically, they will not even be really useful for their society, and they will not be able to be well integrated and well functional members of the society. They will turn out to be non-entities, and they will create problem for our society at the end of the day. So nígbà tí ẹ̀kọ́ ìwé tó bá wálẹ̀ jìn lórí wọn, ni àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n máa wúlò fún àwùjọ wa better. Wọ́n máa ní sense of direction, wọ́n máa ní moral conscience, wọ́n máa know the right from the wrong. So it's very important for them, for parents, to help them to appreciate knowledge at the initial stage, most especially even at the formative stage. Ọmọ mi wà tó jẹ́ pé cannot read and understand, and now in the secondary school, it is important for parents to know that teachers are not magicians. Teachers are not magicians. These children of school going age must be able to comprehend very well before they move to secondary school. So what do we read? What children read and how they read matters a lot. What they read. What are the things that is important for them to read? It is important for them to, at times, read novels, plays, short stories, literature books. Yálà nínú èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì tàbí nínú èdè Yorùbá, ó máa jẹ́ kí language wọn kó standard. It is this language that they use to write in a logical way to the teacher. Ọmọ mi ó kàn ń kàwé ni, nǹkan tó ń kà ò yé. So nígbà tí nǹkan tó bá dẹ̀ ń kà tí ò bá ti yé, kò sí bí ó ṣe máa lè kọ nǹkan tó bá ń kà yẹn sílẹ̀. Tó bá ti ẹ̀kọ́ gan, ó kàn máa kọ in a way that it will not be logical, that will not be readable, in a way that will not appeal to common sense. So logical presentation is very important. Reading is a receptive skill, while writing is a productive skill. So for you to be able to be a good writer, you must have read many things. So that's why many children of school going age fail woefully in their exam, because they don't have the writing skill. And how will they be able to have proper writing skill? Is through adequate reading skill. So they need to be exposed to reading novels, magazines, newspaper, and it is imperative for parents too to ensure that they purchase dictionary for their children, even right from primary school. Let them be conversant with the usage of dictionary. The dictionary, they learn words. When they learn words, they learn the usage of words, they learn the meaning of words, they learn idioms, they learn vocabularies and many other things like that. This will culminate into their linguistic arsenal. They will be able to have a very high vocabulary of the language. When they are very vast in the use of different words, when they have power over words, then they have power over phrases, they have power over clauses, they have power over sentences. From sentences, they have power over paragraphs. What is paragraph? Paragraph consists of key information and supportive sentences. Tabani komo mi ko essay, kò ní mọ̀ bó ṣe máa develop àwọn paragraphs yẹn. They will just write 3 lines, 4 lines, and they believe they have written essay. When essay writing, even for junior secondary school, is for them to write 250 words minimally, and in the senior secondary school they are supposed to write 450 words. But many of these children don't have the requisite mental capacity, and they don't have the requisite mental capacity to write this. So it is very important for us, for children, to ensure that these children have a proper mastery of language. When they have proper mastery of language, they will use this language to write other subjects. But without this, the entire examination exercise is a wilderness of wasted logic. Waste time ara wa ni. Yes, but it drive point kan be yen pe obi níṣẹ́ ṣe. It's not only the academic work does not only end within the 4 walls of the classroom. Then púpọ̀ òbí tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n ra phone fọ́mọ, wọ́n ra textbook fọ́mọ is very wrong, because these children, they are not up to 18. They cannot judge adequately what they see on the social media. They cannot judge it. They can easily be lured. They can easily be deceived because they are not yet mature. Wọ́n ti mọ nǹkan tó fẹ́ fi ilé ayé wọn ṣe. Kì í ṣe ta ìrówó rà. Fóònù rírà fọ́mọ kì í ṣe gbogbo ìgbà ló jẹ́ ọmọ kíkẹ́. Pàápàá jùlọ kì í ṣe ọmọ kíkẹ́ o. Kì í ṣe ọmọ kíkẹ́, ọmọ ṣíṣì lọ́nà ni most of the time. So it is very important for parents to limit the way children have access to Android. Tó bá sọ pé o fẹ́ máa gbọ́ information yìí àti ẹnu ọmọ ẹ, ra small, you can, if it is so important, the children should not have access to sophisticated phone. And even if they want to use it for blended learning experience, it should be under the strict supervision of the parents, and it should be time bound. Okay, you have this access to this phone in the next 40 minutes, and after that 40 minutes you take away the phone from them, because if you don't give them these measures, they will misuse and abuse it. And the reason why they will misuse and abuse it is because they are not yet mature. They cannot judge adequately what they really need to use phone to do. So when they are able to pass their O level, they at reasonable level, they pass their O level with distinction and credit, they have university admission, they have gained admission, then as a parent, it will be necessary at that point to get them Android, and they will know how to use it even for better things apart from player. They can use it for many other things apart from player. It will be a resourceful tool for them. But at the secondary school level, it will only discourage them. It will only distract them, rather. It will only distract them. And when this distraction sets in, they will not be able to learn very well. Let them read hard copies. And ensure that they read hard copies at length than they read things on the blended learning platforms. So this is very, very important because they will be distracted. So parents should ensure that they, most especially in the junior secondary school, the children of school going age have minimum of 1 textbook that is standard in English language and a standard textbook in mathematics. Very important. Then in senior secondary school, the key subjects, they need to have their standard textbook on each of these subjects, and they must have the the past questions, which is the WAEC series. These are the things parents should buy, not buying phones for their children, because it will serve as a distraction. Then that is what children should do, what children should read, and how parents should ensure that they read it. They should read. Ọmọ mi wà báyìí kò ní reading lamp. Ọmọ mi wà kò ní reading table. Ọmọ mi wà kò ní reading chair. So parents will now be saying that this child is not doing well academically. How will the child do well? It's not possible, because when we talk about a child doing well academically, we have what we call dependent variable and the independent variable. The economics people will say all things being equal. In other words, if all things are not equal, the child cannot do well academically. Quote me anywhere. And that is on a very serious note. All the factors must be in place. Factors that make children to do well academically. We have a environmental factor and we have physiological factor. Tọ́mọ bá mọ̀wé, tí bàbá ọmọ bá mọ̀wé, torí bàbá ọmọ bá pé, ó ṣeé ṣe kó rí ọmọ náà kó ṣe kíni, ó pé ó máa inherit ẹ̀. Ìyẹn ni hereditary factor in the academics. So then environmental factor ni okay o, ṣé school ẹ̀ dáa, ṣó ní reading table, ṣó ní reading chair, ṣó ní ìwé, ṣé wọ́n supervise ẹ̀, ṣé kò wà distracted, ṣé bí ò pa lọ school. Gbogbo àwọn factors yẹn go a long way to contribute to bóyá ọmọ ẹ ó máa ṣe kíni, ó máa mọ̀wé tàbí kò ní ṣe kíni, kò ní mọ̀wé. Tọ́nà bá ti lè bá òbí ṣe, tí ò bá ti bí dìdìrìn lọ́mọ, kò sí reason tí ọmọ yẹn ò fi gbúdọ̀ mọ̀wé. Ìgbàgbọ́ ta wá ń bí ni wípé kò sí ọmọ tí ò lè mọ̀wé, but there are many factors tó wà associated pẹ̀lú pé bóyá ọmọ máa mọ̀wé àbí kò ní mọ̀wé, which is the environmental factor. Nínú ẹ̀ ní school wà, nínú ẹ̀ ní teacher wà, nínú ẹ̀ ní òbí wà, nínú ẹ̀ ní provision of facilities àti àwọn nǹkan tí ọmọ need fún ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ẹ̀ kó lè yè koro, nínú ẹ̀ ló wà. It is their right, it's their inalienable right. Education is the inalienable right. The right to education is the inalienable right of these children. Dẹ̀ fi gbúdọ̀ dùn wọ́n. So it is very much important for parents to ensure that all things that are necessary for children to do well are provided under the law. It is their inalienable right. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá sanwó school nìkan kò pín síbẹ̀ yẹn. This is a misconception by many parents. Pé táwọn bá ti lè sanwó school ọmọ o, táwọn bá ti lè sanwó tíyẹ lẹ́sìn ọmọ o, táwọn bá ti lè ra ìwé fọ́mọ, tó bá ràwé fún wọn, tó bá supervise bọ́n ṣe máa ka, àwọn ọmọ yóò tí ì gbọ́n. Púpọ̀ wọn ò tí ì gbọ́n. Òbí ló ń kàwé in recent time, most especially at the primary and secondary school. Àwọn mo dẹ̀ fẹ́ lu àwọn òbí yẹn lọ́gọ ẹnu, àwọn òbí tó ń supervise ọmọ, mo fẹ́ lù wọ́n lọ́gọ ẹnu. Mo dẹ̀ ń gba àwọn òbí tí ó máa supervise ọmọ, mo ń gbà wọ́n níyànjú. Ìyìnrere ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tèmi ń preach kì í ṣe ìyìnrere kólekóle, kò dẹ̀ ń ṣe ìyìnrere pé okay o by force. À ń gbà yín, mo ń fi àkókò mi sílẹ̀ láti gba àwọn òbí níyànjú ni pé ètò ẹ̀kọ́ ọmọ wọn kí náà ẹ̀ kó lè máa jó fòfò, kó má dẹ̀ jó àjúlọ ẹ̀yìn. Nǹkan tèmi wà fún bí nìyẹn, and I really appreciate those that are encouraging me to do that. I see it as a way to improve the Nigerian system, the Nigerian educational system. That the gbàgbọ́ máa dà. Yes, there is nothing that God cannot do. It will be better. So that's what children read, and how parents should ensure that they read these things is very much important. It's very much important. Then how it is read from the perspective of the parents, then from the perspective of the students. Yes, there are technical formulas to reading different subjects. When we are talking about subjects like literature, you have to pay attention to events. You have to pay attention to activities. You have to pay attention to names and characters. And at times, at some point, it is important for you to memorize. Memorization is different from cramming. When you say you cram, you just put things in your head. You don't understand what you are reading. But when it is memorization, you understand it. In fact, nǹkan tẹ́ yóò bá understand, ó ṣeé ṣe kó má dúró lórí èèyàn. So, it is important for you to memorize, to learn by heart. you put things in your subconscious. Ìgbà míì ó máa ní láti máa kà ní àkàtúnkà. Ìgbà míì wá ọmọ mi ó máa ka nǹkan ní ẹ̀ẹ̀kan ó dẹ̀ máa yé. Àwọn yẹn ni gifted student. But tí ó bá kí n ṣe gifted student kò kí n ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. It is ìwé mímọ́ gan pàápàá ó ní ìwé òfin yìí kò gbúdọ̀ kúrò ní ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Ìwọ gbúdọ̀ máa ṣe àṣàrò nínú ẹ̀. In other words, a good student, generality of students need to read daily. It has to be a lifestyle and it has to be a conscious effort. It has to be a lifestyle. It's not something you do today and you not do tomorrow. So by the time you read, your teacher starts teaching you and you read daily. But at the end of the term, the entire note is already in your head. Tí teacher bá béèrè pé question wo ni wọ́n béèrè bí yìí, o lè ṣí ibi tí question yẹn wà nínú ọpọlọ ẹ, kó sọ pé ibi yìí ló wà. Ìyẹn ni student tó ń kàwé. There are many students today is a sorry case that when the teacher is within the four walls of the classroom setting, eré náà máa ṣe, ẹjọ́ náà máa tò. You should know that academics is an individual journey. The certificate of your friend will not be used. You will not use the certificate of your friend. Your friend cannot use your own certificate. Your friend's parent is not the one paying your school fees. If you want to study medicine, your friend might want to study another thing. So, and the demand, the intellectual demand of courses differ in the university or in the tertiary institution. So it is important for you to know what it will cost you to excel academically and giving it to it. Mr. Taiwo Emmanuel Eto, thank you for watching us. I want to America niye. So it is very much important for you to know what excellence will cost you as a student. When you say subjects like social study, you have to take note of definitions. You have to take note of events. You have to take note of activities. Subjects like CRS, you have to take note of events, names. You have to take note of storylines. You have to take note of moral lessons. You have to take note of significance of activities. Subjects like geography, at times you have to take note of mastering drawing. Subjects like biology, drawing and labeling, mastering definition, keywords, spellings must be taken, must be put into consideration. The same thing are Greek. Then subjects like mathematics, you have to memorize formulas and you have to take note of steps and you have to practice over time. Then subjects like English language, activities teacher nìkan. By the time you are reading several storybooks, you are already reading a lot of things. You are already doing JAMB lesson. Because things not expressly taught by your teacher, through reading, you have learnt them. You have learnt them. So, share ara ẹni havoc if you are not an ardent reader. And that is the remote and immediate reason for examination malpractice. It's even a sorry case today that even many parents today are the one aiding and abetting examination malpractice. Eléyìí tó yẹ kán ṣe wọ́n ṣe, eléyìí tó yẹ kán ṣe wọ́n ṣe. It's a conscious effort. It's a gradual process. Àti òkèrè lójú jíjì tí mú ẹkún ẹ̀sùn. Kì í ṣe ọjọ́ àjò, a kì í ré èékánná lọ́jọ́ àjò. No. Láti primary school ni. Ọmọ tó bá máa jẹ́ àṣàmú àti kékeré ló ti máa ṣẹnu ṣámúṣá. Láti kékeré lẹ ti gbúdọ̀ tọ́jú àwọn ọmọ yìí. Tọ́mọ bá ti lè read and understand from primary school, ọmọ yẹn ò ní problem mọ́. But tọ́mọ ò bá lè read and understand tẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ gbé sí primary, tẹ́ẹ̀dẹ̀ gbé sí secondary school, ẹ ti ń dọ́gbọ́n fa ọwọ́ agbo ọmọ yẹn sẹ́yìn. Tọ́mọ ò bá lè read and understand ní secondary school, kò sí reason tọ́mọ yẹn fi gbúdọ̀ wà secondary school, kò sí reason. Ẹ jẹ́ kọ́kọ́ ní ìṣẹ́gun lórí reading and understanding. Ó lè gba kẹ́ra quiz primer fún. Kò mí bóyá ó ti wà lẹ́sẹ̀s2 àbó wà lẹ́sẹ̀s1 o. Ọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìlànà ni. Ó ní Jésù ní èmi ní ọ̀nà òtítọ́ àti ìyè. Ọ̀rọ̀ lórí ìlànà ni. These are irrefutable principles of academic excellence. They are irrefutable principles. Tí ó sì súnmọ́ ń yẹ̀ mọ́ nǹkan kan ń bẹ̀. Tọ́mọ bá ti lè read and understand, kò sí problem. Ó máa appreciate knowledge. Ó lè read ahead of teachers. Nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ń kà kó yé. Tó bá ti yé kò ní problem. Ṣùgbọ́n tí ò bá yé, there is fire on the mountain. Ẹ lè lọ ní kó lọ ṣe examination malpractice. Tó bá l'admission, tó ṣó lè scale through. Tó bá scale through ńkọ́, ibi tó bá wà ṣó lè defend ara ẹ̀ qualitatively. Ṣó lè discharge. Come back see any other environment apart from environment ibi tó wà, ṣó lè discharge? Is he fully loaded to this? Will you be proud of the child pé ọmọ mi nìyẹn? That's what we are talking. We are talking about something qualitative. We are not talking about a wishy-washy educational system. We are talking about raising philosopher kings and intellectual giants. Homo sapien, man as a thinking being. Ẹ̀rọ mọ̀ mí á parí service torí pé okay 30,000 yẹn owó service yẹn kò ní máa wọlé mọ́, á dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sun ẹkún. But when you are a graduate who has common sense, who has actually gone through the schooling system, and the schooling system has gone through you, you will be able to solve your daily problem. That is the essence of education, to be well integrated and functional members of the society. Education is to bring in you the desirable quality. That's what we are talking about. And not raising non-entities in the society. No. Education is not only about money. It's to help you to solve your daily problem, for you to be well integrated. And when you are going to raise, you are raising them in a very good way. That's the holistic essence of education. It does not only end with money. No. Then it is very important for children of school going age at some point to engage in good reading principles like peer tutoring. Ẹ múra yín méjì mẹ́ta ẹ máa discuss kí ló kà, wàá ti kàwé wá láti ilé, kí ló kà yájọ share. You ask yourself questions, you close the book. What have I read? You begin to recall. What you have read. I'm intentionally doing this program for children, most especially those that want to write WAEC, NECO. You read past questions. You read your textbook. When you read your textbook, you read your teacher's notes. You read your textbook. After reading your textbook, you go to your past question. You analyze the past question. You read the theories in your past question severally. That's how to prepare for education. How do I read? That's the question. How do I read? It's not anyhow. It's a strategy. At times you have a small jotter on each of your subjects. As you are reading, you are jotting out key information. So that is how to read. You number 1 to 100. You number 1 to 50. You practice it. You use the answer to look at the correction. That is how to read. It takes dedication. It takes self-discipline. Why does a fool teaches himself? A fool teaches himself because he refuses to be disciplined. Take away discipline from learning. Forget about learning. You have to embrace what we call Spartan discipline. Sparta, it has to be you have to appreciate knowledge. So it's very important for children of school going to even be ready, and it's very important for schools to counsel children that they can actually do these things. Tell them the importance of being competent intellectually. Let them know the importance of being competent intellectually. This will help them. Another way to encourage academics is through competition. When they do competition, when you give them positive reinforcement, you give them scholarship, you give them money, you give them things that will encourage them. You give them, you give their parents incentives, or maybe you take away some percentage from their school fees as a school administrator because their child is doing well. This will encourage the child to do well academically. We have to celebrate intellectualism. Our country can be better with problem with the network. So that's how our country can be better. So we use this medium to thank those that have stayed put with us through the program. My very good friend, Mr. Taiwo Emmanuel, and my very good mommy, Mrs. Fashugbe Awe. Thank you very much for staying put. So we believe that children of school going age will do well in their academics if they take 1 or 2 instructions that we are trying to share. Parents too should not say, who is this small boy talking to them. We want the educational system to be better. That's why we dedicate our time to doing this, and we release as many clips as possible for the improvement of the educational system, both at the administrative level of the school and the parents level, as well as the children level. And we will anchor as many live English classes as possible just to help the educational system. It is our belief that Nigeria will be better. It is our belief that the Josiah of our generation will be raised. It is our belief that we will raise as many intellectuals as possible that will take Nigeria to the promised land. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Bye.